Welcome everybody. We're talking about ceiling fans, and Eric Wolvers is here to show us how to install one. You know what? I think the thing that scares people the most about installing ceiling fans is probably the wiring.
Yep, that's usually the biggest part that everybody's worried about. So that's the biggest thing in starting out doing a ceiling fan is make sure to shut off the power to that room. You don't have to shut off the entire house, but go down, kill the breaker to that room. They're pretty easy to do. A lot of people get scared. We've had a lot of calls from people wanting us to do this. Pretty easy at-home project if you want to do it yourself. So we figured we'd come in today, show you how it can be done. If you still would like our help, we certainly could come out and install them for you.
Great. How do we do it?
This is normally what you're going to have up top is an actual box out, an outlet box where your wiring is coming through. I've already got it kind of started, otherwise you're just going to see me putting in screws and stuff. So you got your black outlet box. This comes with the ceiling fan package. You're going to have a couple different ones. This is what they call the 5-minute fan. So you're just putting your actual mounting plate up there. This is going to be on a ladder. You're going to be up in the air. But after you get this part done, it's pretty easy because this will hold the rest of the fan. The old style ones, you'd used to have to hold it in a hand, everything else while you're up on a ladder, and it was just very difficult. So they're a lot easier now what you're looking at.
Okay.
What you're normally going to want to do, though, is put your fan up on top of a ladder, get it supported as good as possible so you can get up there, get this attached. Once it's attached, it just slides right in there. It's actually pretty easy. And that'll hold all the way to the fan up there. So once it's up there, all you're doing is working with your wiring. So I'm going to take this apart so people can actually see what I'm doing. This is going to be a little difficult just because, as you can see, a little cramped area up in there. So you're on a ladder working with it. That's the only difficult part, is really that you're working in a small space. But your white is your positive, your copper is your ground, and your black is your negative. You've got 3 wires here is what confuses a lot of people. And what you've got for different wires here,
I have 4.
You have 4. Ground is your actual copper that you're seeing there. Same with the mounting plate.
Okay.
White is positive. Everybody thinks black is negative. What is this extra one for? If you have a separate switch on the wall to run just the actual fan blades, this is what this would be for. So the way we're going to wire it up with just the standard 3 is that you have it just with a pull chain underneath to work the fan. This doesn't have a fan and a light, but usually you're going to have a fan, a light, everything else. So just wire those up together. And this is actually pretty easy once you get the power killed. You're just going to bring it up. Put your 2 lines together.
Do you want to wrap those wires together or just put them next to each other?
Put them next to each other. You can wrap them either way. This wire nut here will do all your work. So you're just going to tighten it up.
Nice.
That easy. You're doing that 3 times. That's a good snug fit. So you're going to do both your grounds together with the copper line, both your blacks together with the actual negative line. Just hold them together right by it. Take a wire nut, screw it on when they're all held together. So very easy project to do. Once you've got that put together, it's all going to be hung up on the mounting plate.
Okay.
With this is just pretty much to make it so you don't see all the wires, everything else.
Sure.
Shove your wires in there. You've got the black screws right here.
They're on the edges?
Right on the edges. This turn around.
Insert and turn.
Holds it right up there. You can tighten those up, and then there's 2 other ones to hold it tight. This just goes up, slides clockwise, holds it all up. So pretty easy. The wiring is the toughest part. Just connecting the wires, putting those together. The only problem is you're kind of working on up above your head. With the fan blades, you can't put those on prior to. On some of them you can. They're going to have actual screws. You're going to have 3 screws across the top of here that you got to work up above. So that's the only bad part, is you're up above your head at all times. So once you get it connected and holding up there, it's got all the weight. You really don't have to worry about it. But these are a lot easier. They just kind of snap together. There's 4 different brackets. If I could get this thing to hold here, it just turns, twists, snaps right into place. So, and you can have different fan blades on different sides, so it all depends on what you're looking for in the room. So you can do white, you can do oak to match your colors, whatever you're kind of looking for.
Very nice. I'm going to throw you just a little curveball here. What if you have an older house and somebody's maybe done some independent wiring and the colors don't make sense? Is there some way to test the wires to figure out which one's the ground, which one's...
You'd have to have a tester really on something like that to tell your positive and negative is what you're looking at. They all should be a Romex line like this. An older house, even with that, should have an actual positive negative. Some of them are all the way stripped back that you can't tell which are black, which are white. So usually you can tell off the old light. Other than that, it may be something that you want to have an electrician there just to really make sure you're not putting it backwards across circuit on something like that.
Okay, great. Eric Wolvers, thank you very much. We appreciate it. If you have a question for the folks down at Springer Professional Home Services, the number's right there on your screen, 262-9229 or trustspringer.com.